What's up everybody, Camro here, and welcome to part 15 of my How to Make a Pokemon Game tutorial series. In this episode, we are going to be looking at Elite Battle System, which is an amazing plugin created by Luka SJ that'll really help spruce up your Pokemon battles. First, we're going to go to Luka's website and browse his library of amazing resources, and from there, we're going to download and install Luka's scripting utilities, as well as downloading and installing Elite Battle System. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to run it and then look into some of the resources that we've changed. And then afterwards, we're actually going to modify the Elite Battle System script a little bit because there are some cool tweaks or settings we can change. And then finally, we're going to download some additional art resources that we can plug into our game with Elite Battle System depending on your preference. With all that said, let's get into it. So what I've got here is a base version of Pokemon Essentials. I've modified it a little bit so that way there's this Poliwhirl here, You can get a Master Ball, you can get a Zapdos. So let's just run the game and let's take a look at exactly what I've got going on here. So this is the base version of Pokemon Essentials. And let's see what the base battle UI looks like, shall we? So here we've got a Poliwhirl, he's standing there. We've got the health bars up here. You know, this is the base battle UI that we've grown to love or hate, you know, depending on where you stand. But this is how everything looks right now. So let's close up our game and let's install Elite Battle System. And then let's see how it looks afterwards. Let me close that real quick. So we're going to want to go to Luka's website. It's just luka-sj.com. And you want to go to the Resources tab. There's a whole bunch of amazing resources here, and I can't thank Luka enough for making a lot of these. Marin has made some as well. They're both fantastic. But what we want are these two here up on top. We want Luka's scripting utilities and the Elite Battle System. So the Elite Battle System here, you can see it's compatible with Pokemon Essentials version 17.2, which I hope that you're working with. If you're working with an earlier version of Pokemon Essentials, consider updating to 17.2, the latest. You can also actually download 17.2 here from the website, bada boom. But I've actually gone and I've downloaded both of these already. You can actually just scroll down and download the package here for the scripting utilities, and then scroll down and download the package here for Elite Battle System. Bada boom. So I've actually downloaded both of these already. So let's start installing them into our game, shall we? The first thing that you want to do is install the scripting utilities, which is right here in, oh, thank you WinRAR, which is right here in the lutz.zip, which is the Luka's scripting utilities. Anyway, let's open up this script.txt, and really all we need to do is Control-A, copy all of these, and go back into our game, into the scripts, and go down here, and then we can just paste it. Not in this one, we're going to want to make a new script section for this. And just because I'm OCD about how this is all organized, I'm going to make a new divider there. And let's make this new script, and let's just call it Luka's scripting, if I could type properly, utilities. All right, and paste that all in and apply. Bada boom. So now we have Luka's scripting utilities. Easy peasy. That was super easy to install. And this next one will also be easy to install. There's a bit more steps, but you want to open the ebs4.zip now that we've downloaded. Bada boom. And look at this. There's a lot of files in here, as well as an additional script.txt. So first, let's copy all these files over. I'm going to actually close the game that's running right now and save some of these changes. Let's go into our game folder. And before you do this, I would also recommend making a backup of your game because we are going to be overwriting a lot of files now. In case you want to go back, or in case you don't like Elite Battle System, definitely, yeah, consider making a backup of your game project. Anyway, let's just take everything from within here and copy it over. And then it'll be processing, and then it'll ask us, hey, do you want to replace all those files? And we will say yes, because all of these files, or most of these files, are fantastic, depending on how you stand. I don't know, if you don't like animated sprites, then maybe you don't like these, but yeah, I'll just let this copy over, and then we'll continue the tutorial. Alright, so now I've finished copying over everything, but let's take a look at some of the things that we've copied over, shall we? In the audio, we've copied over some new battle music, some new sound effects, and that's about it. For the data folder, what we've got here is this EBS4 plugin, which is awesome, and we will be accessing that with our script. There's a whole bunch of graphics, new animations, new battle backgrounds, new battlers. There are a ton of art assets in this. Characters, pictures, yeah, you got it. Like, just a ton of art. And PBS, updated Pokemon, So this is why you would want to make a backup of your game. If you have been manipulating these Pokemon files on your own and making your own new custom Pokemon, this would overwrite those changes. So you're going to have to look into updating this Pokemon TXT based on how your game's Pokemon TXT is already working. And then finally, we have the script.txt. So let's go in here and copy everything again, similar to what we did previously with the scripting utilities. And let's get our game project running once more. Let's go to our scripts and scroll down, and let's do what we did before. Let's make a new script, and we can just call this one Elite Battle System. All right, and paste that in. And here you can see that there are some cool settings. We will mess around with this in a little bit, but yeah, it doesn't hurt to browse this and see what's going on here. Anyway, Elite Battle System is now installed. So let's run our game now to compile all the changes. This one might take a little bit. It'll also ask you a question on initial startup to reformat your battlers folder. Let's show this in action, shall we? Let me turn off my fan game window real quick. In our game right now, the way that the battlers folder is laid out is it's all in one folder. The way Elite Battle System prefers it is that each section has its own folder. So like front, back, shiny, back shiny. So that is what Elite Battle System will actually automatically do for you. It says, hey, I noticed that your files aren't matching the naming convention that Elite Battle System uses. That'll break things. We're recommending that you back up your files, but would you like to automatically resolve the issue? Yes, I would. I hit enter, yes. Now let's close this fan game window again. Look at that. It has auto-sorted all of our files to back, back shiny, front, front shiny. And look, they're all animated. You can see that they're animated because of all of the frames. All right, so let's turn that fan game window back on, and let's run our game with Elite Battle System installed, shall we? So right off the bat, you're going to notice that there's a lot of snazzy changes. What do we got here? Whoa, look at our Poliwhirl battle now. He's animated and he's moving. We can see his health bar up above him like so. Look at that. We can see Pikachu there. Wow. Look at that. It's looking fancy, right? That's pretty cool. So, as we can see, Elite Battle System has been installed into our game, and we have some really cool stuff going on now. But we can tweak it depending on our preferences. So like, that's pretty cool, but let's take a look at some of the settings we can mess around with, shall we? Let's see. So here we can mess around with the style. You can do 1, 2, or 0. I actually do not recommend using 0 because we've replaced a lot of art assets. So if you want to go back to the default Essentials UI, just setting it to 0 here might still look a little bit broken. Some things will be missing. But yeah, you can switch between 1 and 2. The Elite Battle UI here is, I believe, what is used in Pokemon Uranium, if you're familiar with that. We can switch to 1 just to showcase it. You can show party arrows, set that to true or false. All of these have comments also that describe what is happening here. So once again, thank you, Luka, for that. This is fantastic. You can change the scale. Everything is set to 2 right now. And there are some good things and some bad things about that. And I'll show you an example. Right now, all of our trainers are using the previous sprite scaling, so they're about to appear massive in our game. So with our current trainer sprites, we'd want to set that to 1, but I'll show you what it looks like set to 2. And then also we'll plug in some new trainer art later, so this won't be an issue. Anyway, you can turn off battle bases, you can turn on like a blurred background, you can mess with the auto camera settings, which I actually don't recommend. I would just not touch this section. But here you have some very cool settings. You can change it so that way music plays if you capture a Pokemon, if it uses low health music, if you use custom animations that you programmed yourself. Right now it's set to false, but if you've made your own move animations, you'd want to set this to true. Replace missing animations, you could set that to true, so that way it uses the default type animations that have been defined previously in base version of Pokemon Essentials. Right now, if there's a missing animation in Elite Battle System, it'll just look like a, just like a basic hit. You can set effect messages, show type advantage. I really like that one, actually. I would recommend turning that one on, but, it's based on your preference, right? Disable scene motion, it's still buggy, but, you could mess around with that also if you want. There are also some things you can do here which are really cool. You can plug in different legendaries if you want to use custom music specifically for legendary battles here. So if you want, you could add your own Pokemon to this item, like, I don't know, we could make it so that way Poliwhirl is considered a legendary, if we wanted to, But yeah, then we could plug in special battle music if we wanted Poliwhirl to have it, right? Like that's kind of neat. You and Registeel, Regirock, they've got their own Regi battle music. Giratina has his own battle music. And then here we can also define which trainers show up in the evil team list. And then at the very bottom, it just loads the RX data that we called out earlier. Cool. Let's see what the UB Style 1 looks like in our game, shall we? We've modified a little bit of settings. Actually, let's change the capture BGM also real quick. I'd like to make it so that when we capture something, it plays like a happy jingle. So let's go into our game folder once more. Go to the audio. It's going to be from the BGM folder. And let's see, what do we have? Is there anything cool like a victory? We might actually have to copy it from the other audio folder for ME. I believe that the victory music is treated as an ME file, so we could just copy that over. So yeah, BW captured. I think we want to do Battle Victory Wild. Yeah, let's copy this over into our BGM folder. And just because I'm paranoid, I'm going to remove the spaces. But that's only because I'm paranoid. You don't really have to worry about that. Anyway, let's just copy this over. And we want to put these in quotes because it's needing a string here. And the .ogg isn't necessary. And boom! Any file named Battle Victory Wild within our BGM folder will now play when we capture a Pokemon. So let's showcase that. Let's showcase what the other art style looks like, or rather the other EBS style looks like. It's now set to 1. And let's showcase catching a Pokemon, shall we? I got a Master Ball, so I think I'm going to catch that Zapdos. Alright, Zapdos, you will be mine. Aha! Oh shit, that is some loud music. But look how that looks. Pretty interesting, right? We got an updated battle UI here. This is what it looks like when it's set to 1. So if you think this looks better for your game, you can use it. Alright, let's catch this guy. Oh, I only have 52 Master Balls. Alright, you're getting in there. Listen to that music. So that's some legendary battle music, right? Hey. Plays a little jingle because we caught the guy. And now I get to listen to our victory theme. Cool. That's pretty good looking, right? I don't know. I think that looks pretty decent. Let's go and mess with our settings a little bit more, shall we? I'm going to set it back to 2 because I like the look of 2. And if we want, we can mess around with any of these. But let's showcase that trainer issue I was talking about now. Remember, we're still using previous trainer sprites. And in their current format, they're going to appear massive unless we set that trainer scale. So let's do a battle option, and let's test a trainer battle, and let's just fight Camper Liam, whatever. Holy crap! He's huge! He could just step on me and win the fight instantly. This is a very scary camper. So, there are 2 things we could do here. If you want to just use the default trainers that came with Pokemon Essentials, which are of course in the graphics characters folder, take a look at these guys. I'm looking in the wrong area. There we go. Take a look at these guys. If you want to just continue to use these and not make any changes, you could set that trainer sprite scale, pardon me, to 1. However, there are some cool additional art assets that I would like to showcase now. Let's actually go back to Luka's website and let's look at these resources once more. There are 2 in particular that I would like to talk about, which are the trainer sprites for EBS and the single frame for EBS. And this is a pretty good resource up here too. You can click on that if you want. I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased. Anyway, if you don't want your Pokemon to be animated and would prefer that they appear as a single frame, you can download this, single frame for EBS. This is really just dropping in Pokemon and not having them not be animated. I personally prefer this for my own game development because I suck at creating animated sprites. And if I wanted to create my own new Pokemon, it's easier to draw them once than to draw them like 20 times. So, you know, it's because I'm lazy, really. And then the trainer sprites for EBS, these look fantastic. These are from, I believe, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or they could be from Black and White too. But anyway, when you plug them in, they work perfectly fine with the trainer sprite scale set to 2. So I've actually, you know, because I'm prepared, and this is a tutorial, I've already gone and downloaded these as well. They're in my additional art folder here. But yeah, single frame. Let's take a look at what these look like now. Close. What do you got? You know, just a Bulbasaur. Just a Caterpie. And if you remember that episode that I made about creating sprite art and talking about things being 2x2, these are actually 1 by 1 because of the sprite scaling that Elite Battle System does to scale everything up to 2. So using code, they apply the 2 by 2. So you could draw things 1 by 1 if you're using Elite Battle System. And you have the trainer sprite scale set to 2. Hopefully that's not confusing. Hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm not going to plug those in right now. But, you know, if you choose to, you totally can. Just overwrite your other art files with these single frame ones, and bada boom, you're looking good. But what I want to do is I want to plug in those new trainer sprites because I think that they look great. What you want to do is go to the graphics folder here. All sprites contains all the sprites. There are additional ones that you can look into, which are really cool. There's a lot of good stuff in here. But what I'm interested in is just overwriting our current characters with an updated version, which thankfully this does. What this does is it's formatted everything to basically overwrite our existing stuff and look great. So all of these are numbered so that like the hiker takes over the hiker, you know, the youngster overwrites the youngster. It's perfectly formatted and it's awesome. It's fantastic and I love it. What I'm gonna do now is select everything in here. I'm gonna go back to my game folder, into the characters. And what we can do is actually just, I mean, if you want, you can make a backup. You probably should because overwriting things is scary. But I'm just gonna replace all these files and boom. You'll notice that some of them aren't overwritten and some of them are not animated. But some of them are, and they look really dang cool. Look at that, we got a musician there. So now, if we go into the game and we battle that camper, it'll use a new camper sprite, which is actually right here. Look, there he is. And if we wanted to fight somebody else, we could find somebody else who's animated. The Team Rocket members aren't animated, but somebody like Giovanni is. Look, there's friggin', what's his name? Old guy. Why am I blanking on everybody's names, man? Blaine, god dang. Anyway, let's run our game now. We've got our updated trainer sprites, and let's do a trainer battle. Let's battle a trainer using debug, and you can tell if they're animated or not based on the preview window here when it shows you all the frames. But look at that, we got ourselves an animated youngster. Let's fight him. Oh, look at that. That looks really good. He did a little animation there, and now he's ready to battle. And of course, he's got a Rattata because that's our youngster. Alright. So, as you can see, Elite Battle System is awesome. It was created by Luka SJ and others. You can see it all in the credits on the site. You absolutely should and must credit Luka SJ if you plan to use this in your game. It's an amazing tool, and I think Luka doesn't get enough credit. So yeah, I'd like to give him all the credit. He's a god. He's just a god, man. But this is basically the end of this tutorial. Hopefully this has helped you. If you ever have any questions, please don't like reach out to and annoy or harass Luka. He's given up on, well, not given up. He is no longer making fan game resources as of this time. And I would much prefer that instead, if you have issues, to reach out on the Thundaga Discord. There's a help channel that should help you, or just reach out to me. Yeah, I think Luka has earned his rest, and I would like to wish him support when he moves on to, or for every other project that he's moving on to. So, I think that about does it. Hopefully, once again, I've said it before, if this has helped you, hopefully this has helped you. Gosh, I'm so bad at ending these videos, aren't I? Like, this is all off the cuff, and I don't know, I'm not good at improv, right? Sometimes I am, when I'm in the mood, when it hits me right. But yeah, once again, shout out to Luka SJ for creating this. I love what he's done for the fan game community. Pokemon Essentials wouldn't be the same without him. Elite Battle System and all the other resources that he's compiled on his website, and additional resources created by Marin. They're both awesome people who are amazing creators, and they're really putting in the work to make great resources for the community. And I love them both, even though I don't really say it. But you know, much respect from me. I'm really just like, I'm not a guy who's creating all these resources. I would like to create resources someday, but they're the real heroes. But yeah, I'd like to reiterate also at the end, like, if you are running into issues, please don't harass anybody or don't act entitled and like annoy people. Like, if you run into an issue, you know, double check that you did everything right first off, because most of the time it's easy to mess up these steps. But yeah, you can reach out to me or reach out to the help channel in a Discord. Don't reach out to the creators directly. Did I call them directors? Jesus. Don't reach out to the creators directly with like annoying messages. I would say there's plenty of people who have installed it before who can help you. and the creators are too busy. Not too busy, you know, they can respond, but they're the real MVPs, and you know, they could be creating something else awesome. So I think that's about it for me. If you are going to reach out to them directly, instead tell them that you respect them and appreciate everything they've done for the fan game community, because they've done a lot. Countless hours. Like, I can't imagine how much time it took to create Elite Battle System. It's friggin' awesome. I don't know, I can't say it enough, man. Like, this is such a cool tool, and I have nothing but respect and love for what Luka and Marin have done. Anyway, that's it for me. Subscribe and follow socials and all that good stuff. And until next time, I hope that you all have a good one.